Hello, you beautiful human, and welcome back to yet another video of mine. I know the intro is different, the title is also different. I am different. And I know I shared it in earlier videos of mine before, how every single day we wake up a new person, but the shift that I went through, I cannot really pinpoint when it happened, but within the last couple of days and me settling into my new reality, everything is different. And I mean, we'll probably get into the cards at one point, but you just have to bear with me in this one because it's a hefty one, it's a very deep one, and you're either gonna get it or you don't, which is completely fine. I just know that I need to speak because this has been coming through yesterday, and this morning I just kept on hearing sit down and speak, so I will. And I even teared up when this whole channel came through because it hits home very deep for me. Where do I even begin? So my spiritual journey started around 4 years ago, which is very cliche because I think for a lot of us within this collective especially, that was the first kind of peak we've gotten into spirituality and higher consciousness and the concept of universe, spirit, God, whatever name you want to give it, right? And it has been the same for me with Corona and everything, and kind of being forced to go within. A lot of stuff bubbled up, and with me I had a lot of health issues that I had to address, and there was a time where my mind made me believe that I was dying every single day due to anxiety and panic attacks, and that was a trigger for me to realize how powerful our mind actually is, and that I've been basically running on autopilot for the majority of my life until the basically switch flipped. Is that how you say it? And before that, I was an atheist, and that is kind of that's just part of me, that was part of my journey to not believe in anything, which is not completely true, but what I always saw as fantasies and daydreaming was me actually just looking into potential future timelines, which I didn't know at that time. But religion and everything, I basically, you could call me Christian, but we never practiced that religion in my household ever. I can count on one hand how often I was in church doing service. That is it. So I never had any example of what it means to believe in something higher, to have faith, to pray, none of that, none of it at all. But that was obviously part of my journey. I didn't need to, I was meant to be ignorantly blissful, asleep. And when I started to waken up to the fact that, wait, I think these tarot psychic readers that I see everywhere, they're onto something here. What do you mean I can manifest my own reality? Wait, how does this work? And then it was all about just kind of consuming a lot of content, right? And you will probably relate to that. Just learning about all these universal laws and manifestation techniques. But I was so focused on just getting the result that I wanted in my life to look very ego driven, that I did not even see the entirety of why manifestation actually works and what is behind everything. That took a lot of time, actually. And just recently, as in super recently, have I come to a point where I not only know the truth, but I feel the truth. I got full on body chills. That is a crucial step within this journey. And if you haven't gotten to that point yet, you will be inevitably, okay? I'm telling you this now. Because if you're already grasping the concept of you are God, you are creator and creation in one. You're everything, you're nothing, you're calling in everything for you. Every single experience, every single encounter is for you. And up until this point, if you're like connected to my energy now and the videos that I shared like the last couple of months, like we've been going through our last freaking dark shadow period. Like we went for it. But every single karmic situation that came up, like we cleared. Like that was always meant to happen that way. That's the soul contract we signed. We were like, I'm ready. Send me out, even though the whole freaking world is asleep and I don't really have an example to go, to look at what life looks like to actually be aligned with God. God is energy with everything. But I'm here for it. So you volunteered and you went out there. And it doesn't really matter where you're currently at on your journey. If you just started your spiritual journey and everything is falling apart and you have like a huge like ego death, like all part of the process, or if you're like further along, currently fighting shadows left and right, just like trying to get to the bottom of who you've always been, like layers upon layers, you're just like throwing it all away, like breaking chains, breaking like generational curses. If you're currently going through that, that is also like valid if you're already on the other side. Embodying God consciousness, if that has like integrated in you, beautiful. But coming from someone that went from atheist to embodying God consciousness within 4 years, you just need to realize how freaking strong you are. Okay, despite what your past upbringing was, like what religion, I genuinely couldn't care less. What I just need you to realize is that you were always meant to be one of the first, to become the walking example of what it means to embody God consciousness, what it means to actually create the reality that you see for yourself effortlessly, because you're in alignment with everything. The same power that creates worlds is inside of you. And it's so funny that I say this because I theoretically knew this was the truth, but there was always a disconnect between like knowing and feeling. But I'm at a point now where I feel it. And I see it reflected in everything. The golden light, the golden timeline, the golden age that we're in now, I see it. And a lot has to do with, I'm gonna get emotional, with meeting my counterpart. Because don't get me wrong, like ever since I embarked on my spiritual journey, like there has been a lot of miracles that I witnessed in my life where I'm like, oh, so this is universe, this is apparently spirit, this is our guides, this is God. I couldn't like put my finger on it, but I was like, oh, it seems to be working. Manifestation seems to be working. Completely, like I was so riding that train that I did not understand like what that actually means. But meeting him, like, it's one thing to actively wish for something, right? Being like, oh, I see my partner having this. And then you're gonna get it and you're like, perfect. But it's a whole nother thing if you not only be met by a manifestation, like an embodiment, like a materialization of something, of someone, that not only meets everything that you consciously always was just wishing for, but is everything that you didn't even know you needed. But your God consciousness created it for you. And oh my gosh, bless him, because like from the beginning, like basically he saw God reflected in me. But I was blind to it. But not anymore. Because I see God reflected in him. I see God reflected in everything. I see it in the freaking trees, and I see it in the animals. I see it in the sun. I see it in the interactions that I have. I see it in every single one of you when I connect with you, like in the comment section or in the community. Like, I see it everywhere. And to this, I knew it would be getting emotional because it's so overwhelming, but it's in the most, like, in the most beautiful way. Overwhelming because there's so much love. There's just love. Because that is what God consciousness is. It's nothing but unconditional love. And once you tap into that, like, there's nothing that can keep you from creating anything you want. And it's not coming from an egotistical point. I know you know this. If you're watching this, like, all the illusions that you created for yourself, for your experience, they all made you into the person that you are now. You attained all the skills through the shadow work to fulfill the purpose on your highest timeline, on your golden timeline, as God consciousness. And if this is currently not resonating, then that's okay. But those that feel it, I need you to really sit with it. It literally hit me like a ton of bricks. How all the theoretical knowledge that I gained actually is interlinked, and how everything makes sense, because the time period of humankind within our evolution, where we find ourselves, dark ages, we've been in it, as in we didn't have an example of God being like, obviously this is true. No. We decided to incarnate during a time where there was basically no light, just a couple of individuals that were already like tapping into like God consciousness. But our souls, like, we volunteered, we were like, we know we're not going to remember anything. What we did in past lives and multiple like other galaxies, we will not remember anything. But we need to be there for it. We not only need to clear all the karma, all the generation, like everything, but we want to be part of ushering in the new golden age. Because your soul knew from the beginning that it would be strong enough to withstand it all. So I am repeating myself yet again. It doesn't matter what you're currently going through. It doesn't matter. Arriving here is inevitable. You're on it. You're on the path, like straight to your motherfucking like golden timeline. And you're going to see that reflected now more and more. That has always been the prophecy. That more and more people would wake up to the fact that it has always been about God. And not about like a freaking human with a beard. You know? No, it's like, it's everything. It's all encompassing like awareness and consciousness. It lives in me as it is in you. I'm gonna link a movie that I watched yesterday. Like, it's an anime. It's so cute. It's like, I think like 1 hour 45 minutes or something. Do yourself a favor and watch it. Because it shows you the evolution of not only mankind but the universe, and how everything has transpired up until now. And what is to come. Because the one thing that was always just like synchronistic through the rise and fall of all these civilizations, right? Like, you probably know of Atlantis. but there were like so many more. The moment the Descendant Master God died, the one thing that was the representation of what it means to live out of nothing but unconditional love and what is possible, to like live in prosperity and nothing but abundance. The moment that person representation died, so did the faith and the belief. That is why shadows were able to like creep in and disconnect humans from the fact that everything always leads back to God consciousness. So we've been in the dark for a freaking long time. And the problem with us humans is really like, seeing is believing, right? You take the physical proof away. You take the faith away. And if there's one thing that you need to realize now is what you've been doing, what we've been collectively doing is believing without seeing. Do you understand how powerful that is? You were chosen for this, to pave the way, to be the walking example of the God consciousness. Like, and it doesn't matter how that looks like for you, because it's going to be individual for every single one of us. I'm just saying, you embodying that will create so many ripples across this whole freaking universe. Like, everyone is watching. I'm just seeing like trumpets in my ears. And you pick up on it. If you're present, if you're conscious enough, you feel it. Because the light has already won. Dark ages no more. We're on a golden timeline now. And God, the representation of it, is going to materialize again. And by then, like it's going to be prosperity and abundance and just like joy and love, like all around. But we were sent to set the foundation, to assist in the ascension of planet Earth until that happens. But it's inevitable. 2033 might ring a bell for one of you guys. If you know, you know. And even if you watched like my last couple of videos, it was very chaotic, as in I was overcome with this like powerful surge of like God consciousness within me, and I didn't know how to handle it, and it actually scared me. And it took a bit to integrate. But what I've come to realize is God, consciousness, the power of your God self, like higher self. Yes, it is very powerful, but it is like a quiet undercurrent showing itself in every single crook and cranny of your life. You don't have to shout. You don't have to make a big deal out of it, because the energy in itself is so powerful that you don't necessarily even have to speak anything. You existing and you like calling in the life that you've always seen for yourself, that is ultimately like was always destined for you. It's gonna be easy. It is easy. Each one of us holds the key to usher in the new earth. And if there's one thing that I can just like take away from all of this is, I've never been so grateful to be chosen, that I get to experience this. This marks the beginning of something completely new. And now that everything has been stripped away, there's only truth, there's only knowing, there's only seeing what's ahead. And I love seeing all of it. And I'm meant to share it. And that's the thing. That's why you probably also just like stumbled upon a lot like tarot readers that keep on saying like you are meant to be seen by millions, by the whole world. Like the whole world will know your name. Yes. Why do you think that is? Because people need to see it in order to believe it. So your story, in whichever way you're gonna like put it out, feel called to put it out, is obviously meant to reach the masses, the whole world. You got no time to waste. No. Wakey, wakey. You know, it's like, wakey, wakey, it's time. We're already here. Let us show you how we got here, what it was actually all about all along, and what is all like freaking false and distortion and just wrong. I think I said that twice. That is what it's about. So yes, I use the terms way shower, trailblazer, walking testimony before. But I didn't fully embody and feel it. This is different. This is different. You watching this. You are meant to show what it means to live in alignment with God consciousness. You're meant to make others believe again. Do you know how powerful that is? Thank you for committing to your path, for doing the work, because it is work. But it's so rewarding, so worth it. I would do it over and over and over and over and over again to arrive at the point that I arrived at now. Without question. And if you are in support, if you are in need of support, the community space that I opened about 3 weeks ago, that is where you will experience God consciousness in all its beauty, in all its stages. It doesn't matter, because it truly doesn't matter how much shadows you still carry. In community, this will ultimately lead the way, your heart. And you will be reminded again of what it means to live in alignment with God, because it's all about unconditional love. So if you're like, oh, I would like to experience that, feel free to click on the link in my bio. It's an 11-day free trial for the community. There is a price tag attached to it, because there needs to be one. That community is family to me. It's sacred to me. And I protect what's mine. You know what I mean? It's this is I would do myself a disservice, not taking care of the ones that I love. So this is me protecting what I love. And fun fact, tomorrow we're gonna have our 3rd community call via Zoom, which these are my favorite things that we do within the community. Any doubt or worries or shadows that you might carry will be blasted away once we come together, because we combine our forces, our light. I got full on body chills. I know this has already been long, but I just want to see if there's like another message that wants to come through for this collective. Let's see. That flipped out so quickly. I have full on body chills. Do you see the poet? Whatever you create in this life, whatever beautiful piece of art that you feel called to share, to tell your story, this is your sign to go all in. Disregard anything around you. Like, your words, your story is needed. Your light needs to be reflected in everything that you do from moving forward. There's no room for doubt or worries or anything. Okay? With that said, I'm gonna wrap this video up here now. If you're still here, I am surprised. Because this was just, you know, straight channel. Like, I didn't have a proper structure whatsoever. I just knew that this had to be said, because you will see now the change within me also reflected in the content that I'm gonna put out. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be better. Because I now understand all the freaking things that I only ever like conceptualized and theorized in my mind. So that's gonna be fun. And with all the beautiful miracles that are entering my life now, I'm gonna be connected with my soul family like very, 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 very soon. And what we've got planned, we're gonna create vlogs to basically showcase what it looks like to come together in like soul family, in like new age, new earth community, and how to navigate this life from a point of like God consciousness. So that's something to look forward to. We're just gonna have a lot of fun with just creating and just being kids again. You know, like a lot of joy, a lot of play, because that is all ultimately like our purest form, right? And then just like following what our heart is guiding us to do. And I couldn't be more grateful to have you along for this journey. But with that said, have yourself a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day as always. And I cannot wait to see your beautiful face on one of my next upcoming videos, which you will see when that's gonna be. Just know that I'm sending you so much love. And yeah, we might see each other in tomorrow's community call. I would definitely love to see you there. And please let me know in the comments if this made any sense to you. It was like an emotional roller coaster as well for me, but it felt so good. It felt so good. I'm just over the moon. I'm just, ugh. I could literally bawl my eyes out every single day just because of the gratitude that I'm feeling. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I freaking love you. And if you made it to the very end of this video, let's put something along the lines of art and creation. Like whatever you're passionate about, you choose an emoji that perfectly captures that and put it in your comment. I want to see, because like you're gifted, okay? Like you're the creative masterminds, and I want to see like what are you looking to create? What are you ushering in to stabilize this beautiful new earth that we're laying the foundations for right now? So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go now.